Hi ITC media students and families, Mr. Newell reporting from home again for a quick review on composition. Whether we're talking about photography, cinematography, or design, composition refers to the placement or arrangement of visual elements within your image. We want to use principles of composition to emphasize the parts of your image that you want the viewer to see. The more you utilize rules of composition, the more you'll start to see and understand the rhythms and patterns in images that make them stand out. Here are just a few rules of composition to try at home. We will start with the golden rule of composition, which is rule of thirds. The rule of thirds divides your shot into 9 equal sections by a set of vertical and horizontal lines. With the imaginary grid in place, you should place the most important elements in your shot along one of the lines of this grid, or where the lines of the grid intersect. Now that we've talked about the rule of thirds, which essentially keeps the center of interest away from the center of the frame, we'll talk about symmetry, which brings your image to the center. Symmetrical scenes are balanced, with each side reflecting one another. Symmetry often creates a feeling of strength within your image. Our eyes are often drawn to lines and where those lines lead us, which creates leading lines. These lines can be straight or curved. You can position various focal lengths along your line, or just have one main area of focus at the end of your line that the eye will settle on. Framing is simply using other objects in your photograph to frame the main subject. Framing brings more depth to the picture and a better focus on what the main subject is. Frames within a photo can be man-made, for example, a bridge, or organic, for example, a tree. Because photography is a two-dimensional medium, we have to choose our composition carefully to convey a sense of depth. You can create depth in a photo by including objects in the foreground, middle ground, and background. This is just another valuable tool to move the viewer's eye throughout your photo. Now that you've briefly learned or reviewed some of the basic rules of composition, start practicing and understanding how these rules work. And remember, once you start to understand how these rules work, never be afraid to modify the rules to fit your style. Stay tuned for more ITC media from home, including information on camera movements and shot types.